Welcome to NCERT for UPSC. Today we are going to discuss Chapter 5 of Class 6 NCERT Geography, which is Major Domains of the Earth. By the end of this video, we will understand the 4 major domains of the Earth, which are lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. So let's begin our video. Surface of the Earth is a complex zone in which 3 main components of environment meet, overlap and interact. The first domain that we are going to discuss is lithosphere. Lithosphere is the solid portion of the Earth and it comprises of rocks of the Earth's crust and the thin layers of soil that contains nutrients. There are 2 main divisions of the Earth's surface. They are large land masses and huge water bodies. The land masses are called continents and huge water bodies are called ocean basins. Now, all oceans are connected to each other. Level of the sea water remains same everywhere. Elevation of land measured from sea level, which is taken as 0. It means the surface of the sea is taken as 0 for measuring the height or the depth. Means if we want to know the height of the Mount Everest, for example, the measurement of the height begins from the sea level. And if we want to know the depth of the Mariana Trench in the ocean, then also sea level is taken as 0 for measuring the depth. So the highest mountain peak is Mount Everest, which is 8,848 meters, which is above the sea level, and the greatest depth on the earth is Mariana Trench and it is of 11,022 meters and it is in Pacific Ocean. It means the depth of the Mariana Trench is more than the height of the Mount Everest. So here are some notable names. Edmund Hillary from New Zealand and Tenzing Norgay Sherpa from India. These are the first men to climb Everest and they climbed Everest on 29th May 1953. And Junko Tabe of Japan, she is the first woman to reach summit and she did this on 16th May 1975. And Bachendri Pal, she is from India and she is the first Indian woman to climb on 23rd May 1984. So we got to know there are 2 main divisions of the Earth's surface, which are continents and ocean basins. Ocean basins are nothing but the ground of the ocean which is holding the water of the ocean. That is ocean basin, and the continents are the land masses. So let's first know about the continents. There are 7 major continents in the world. They are Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia and Antarctica. And out of these continents, the greater part of the landmass lies in the northern hemisphere. Means the landmass of most of these continents lies in the northern hemisphere of the earth. Let's learn some things about Asia. Asia is the largest continent in the world and it covers 1/3 of the total geographical area of the world, and Tropic of Cancer passes through Asia and Asia is separated from Europe by Ural Mountains on the west, and the combined landmass of Europe and Asia is called Eurasia. So these are the things to remember about Asia. Now let's go to Europe. Europe is smaller than Asia, lies west of the Asia, and Arctic Circle passes through Europe, and Europe is bound by water bodies on 3 sides. Those 3 water bodies are Arctic Ocean, Atlantic Ocean and Mediterranean Sea. So these 3 water bodies surrounds the Europe continent. And now Africa. Africa is the second largest continent and the most part of Africa lies in northern hemisphere. And Tropic of Cancer, Equator and Tropic of Capricorn all passes through the African continent. And equator runs almost middle of the continent, and Africa is bounded all sides by oceans and seas, and the world's hottest desert, which is Sahara Desert, is located here in the Africa, and the world's longest river flows through Africa, which is Nile River. Now North America. North America is the 3rd largest continent and it lies completely northern and western hemisphere of the earth, and North America and South America are linked through a narrow strip of land which is called Isthmus of Panama. And North America is surrounded by 3 oceans, which are Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean and Southern Ocean. So come here again, let's differentiate between isthmus and a strait. Isthmus is a narrow strip of land connecting 2 land masses, and a strait is a stream of water passing between 2 land masses. So if a narrow strip of land is connecting 2 land masses, it is called isthmus, and if a narrow water stream is passing between 2 land masses, then that is called a strait. Now let's know about South America. South America lies mostly in southern hemisphere The Andes is the world's longest mountain range. It runs north to the south of the South American continent, and it has the world's largest river, the Amazon River in the South America. The Nile River in the Africa is the world's longest river, whereas the Amazon River in the South America is the world's largest river. That is longest, this is largest. Now Australia. Australia is the smallest continent and lies entirely in the southern hemisphere. And Australia is an island continent which is surrounded all sides by the oceans and the seas. Now let's know about Antarctica. Antarctica is a huge continent. This also completely lies in southern hemisphere, and the south pole lies almost center of the continent. And Antarctica continent is covered with thick ice sheets, and there are no permanent human settlements. And we need to remember many countries have research stations and doing research on this continent. India has 2 research stations in the Antarctica, which are namely Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri. Now let's come to the hydrosphere. Earth is called a blue planet because 71% of the Earth's surface is covered with water and only 29% is land. And hydrosphere consists of water in all forms such as oceans, rivers, lakes, ice in glaciers, underground water, water vapor. These all comes under hydrosphere. And out of that 71% of water, 97% of water is in oceans, which means salty, saline water. So only 3% is fresh water. And in these 3% also, major portion is in ice of glaciers and underground water. So in other words, there is very less fresh water available. Now coming to the oceans, ocean water is always moving. There are 3 chief movements of ocean water. They are waves, tides, ocean currents, and we will discuss these chief movements of ocean water very clearly in the coming classes. In this chapter we will focus on 5 major oceans. So the 5 major oceans on the earth are Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean and Arctic Ocean. And from top to bottom is the size from large to small. Means Pacific Ocean is the largest in the world and Arctic is the smallest ocean in the world. So the first ocean is Pacific. It covers 1/3 of the earth's surface, and the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the earth, lies in the Pacific Ocean. And Pacific Ocean looks almost circular. Asia, Australia, North America and South America surrounds the Pacific Ocean. The second ocean is Atlantic Ocean. It is the second largest ocean and it is S-shaped. And the coastline of Atlantic Ocean is indented. Indented means it is not so smooth or straight. It means we can say the coastline of the Atlantic Ocean has many cuts and curves. And the west side of the Atlantic Ocean lies the North America and South America. And the east side of the Atlantic Ocean lies the Europe and Africa. And the Atlantic Ocean is the busiest ocean in the terms of commerce. Now let's come to our Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean is the only ocean that is named after a country, which is India, and it looks almost triangular in shape. And the north of the Indian Ocean lies the Asia, and west of the Indian Ocean is Africa, and east of the Indian Ocean lies the Australia. So these are the important points given in the 6th class NCERT about Indian Ocean. Now the Southern Ocean. Southern Ocean encircles Antarctica continent and extends northward to 60 degrees south latitude. Now here let's know about Arctic Ocean first, then we can go into the other 2 major domains. So the Arctic Ocean lies within the Arctic Circle and surrounds the North Pole. Bering Strait, as we have discussed before, strait is nothing but a narrow water stream that is passing between 2 large land masses. So the Bering Strait, which is narrow stretch of hollow water that connects to Pacific. It means the Arctic Ocean and Pacific Ocean are connected through a small stream of water which is called Bering Strait. And the northern coasts of the Arctic Ocean is North America and Eurasia. Now let's understand the third major domain of the earth, which is atmosphere. Atmosphere is nothing but a layer of gas that surrounds the earth, and it extends up to the height of 1600 kilometers. And atmosphere divided into 5 layers based on the composition, temperature and other properties. So those 5 layers are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. From the Earth's surface, first comes the troposphere, then stratosphere, then mesosphere, then thermosphere, then exosphere. And atmosphere is composed mainly of nitrogen and oxygen. Nitrogen is 78% and oxygen is 21%. And these both gases makes 99% of clean dry air. And carbon dioxide also exists in the atmosphere but in a minute amount. And the carbon dioxide helps in keeping the earth warm. And the density of the air varies with height. It means the density differs with the height. It is maximum at the sea level and decreases with the height. In other words, we can say density of air is maximum at low altitudes like sea level and minimum at higher altitudes. And always remember, air moves from the higher pressure to lower pressure areas. And moving air is called wind. Wind is nothing but the moving air. Now let's know the fourth major domain of the Earth, which is biosphere. This is the domain of life. Biosphere is a narrow zone of contact between land, water and air, and this is the zone that life exists. And organisms in the biosphere broadly divided into two types, which are plant kingdom and animal kingdom. And all the living organisms are linked to each other and to the biosphere for their survival. So this is about biosphere. And let's know what is global warming. Global warming means increase in the levels of carbon dioxide, which leads to increase in global temperatures. The increase in the temperature due to the release of more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So that's all for today. So by this we have concluded the 5th chapter of the class 6 NCERT geography. Thank you. Jai Hind.